Hello students, class 10 science chapter 4 carbon and its compounds. In this video we are going to discuss about allotropes of carbon, tetravalency of carbon, catenation in carbon and organic compounds. First of all, allotropes of carbon. What is allotropy? The existence of a chemical element in two or more forms which may differ in the arrangement of atoms in crystalline solids or in the occurrence of molecules that contain different number of atoms. In simple way we can say different physical forms of a chemical element that occurs in the same physical state are known as allotropes. Allotropes may show differences in chemical and physical properties. For example, very common, graphite and diamond are allotropes of carbon that occur in the solid state. The differences lies in the manner in which the carbon atoms are bonded to one another. Now, let us see the arrangement of carbon atoms in these two allotropes of carbon. First come to the diamond. In diamond, each carbon atom is bonded to four other carbon atoms in tetrahedral manner, forming a rigid three-dimensional structure. What is this tetrahedral manner? You can say this is the arrangement. This is the central carbon atom. If we consider one, then this central carbon atom is attached with these four other carbon atoms. This is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this type of arrangement, only this type of arrangement is this is a tetrahedral structure. Okay, you can also see another carbon atom, like if we see this one, this carbon atom is again in this tetrahedral manner. In this way, these carbon atoms link to each other in a tetrahedral manner and form a three-dimensional structure. Graphite. How this graphite is different from carbon? In graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to three other carbon atoms in the same plane by covalent bonds, giving a hexagonal arrangement of atoms. Now you can say this structure. If we consider this is one carbon atom, this is attached with the three another carbon atom. This is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. In the same way, this is attached with another 3. This is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, in this way if we say this carbon atom form, this is one hexagon. Is it clear? And the carbon atoms form layers with a hexagonal arrangement of atoms, and the layers have weak forces between them. We can say in one plane these hexagonal layers are formed, like this is a one hexagonal layer. Okay, and this one is another hexagonal layer. This is another hexagonal layer, and these layers are linked to each other by a weak force. This force is represented by these dots, blue line. Okay, this is the weak force between the hexagonal layers. Okay, now these two different structures. What these two different structures? In case of diamond, each carbon atom is linked to the four other carbon atoms in a tetrahedral manner, while in case of graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to the three other carbon atoms in a hexagonal layer, and these layers are attached by weak forces. And these two different structures result in diamond and graphite having very different physical properties, even though their chemical properties are same. What are these different properties? Diamond is the hardest substance known, while graphite is smooth and slippery. Even graphite is also a very good conductor of electricity, while diamond not. Some more differences. In case of diamond, geometry is tetrahedral. In this case, geometry is planar. In this diamond, carbon-carbon bond length is 154 picometer. In this carbon-carbon bond length is 141.5 picometer. In this, it has rigid covalent bonding which is difficult to break, and its layers can be separated easily. It is an electrical insulator and it is a good conductor of electricity. This is hard and it is soft and slippery. One more allotrope of carbon, that is fluorine. Fluorines form another class of carbon allotropes. The first one to be identified was C60. This is the first fullerene which has carbon atoms arranged in the shape of a football. You can say this is football. Arranged main dot carbon atoms like this football. Why this is called fullerene? Actually, since this looked like the geodesic dome designed by the US architect Buckminster Fuller, the molecule was named fullerene. You can say these are the domes. Okay, and the structure of this, you can say this is the structure of this fullerene C60. This is also the C60. Its structure is looking like this. That's why this is known as fullerene. Versatile nature of carbon. The number of carbon compounds whose formulae are known to chemists was recently estimated to be in millions. Carbon compounds are in millions. This outnumbers by a large margin the compounds formed by all the other elements put together. We can say the compound formed by carbon are more compared to the compounds formed by all other elements put together. Clear? The nature of the covalent bond enables carbon to form a large number of compounds, and mainly these two factors are responsible for so many compounds of carbon, that is tetravalency of carbon and catenation in carbon. Now what is the meaning of this tetravalency of carbon? As we know, carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. Okay, that's why it has a valency of 4. So it is capable of bonding with 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of some other monovalent element. Bonds that carbon forms with most other elements are very strong, making these compounds exceptionally stable. One reason for the formation of strong bonds by carbon is its small size. This enables the nucleus to hold on to the shared pairs of electrons strongly. Another property is catenation. Carbon has the unique ability to form bonds with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to large molecules. This property is called catenation. It means carbon has the property of self-linking. These compounds may have long chain of carbon, branched chains of carbon, or even carbon atoms arranged in rings. That is, these carbon atoms may arrange in the long chain, that is straight chain, in the branch chain, or even the ring. In addition, carbon atoms may be linked by single, double, or triple bonds. Now, some of the examples you can say this: what is the straight chain, what is the branch chain, what is single bond, and what is double bond. You can say in this case, like this is a linear chain. Okay, carbon is linked to each other. This is branched chain. This is branching. Okay, this is branching. And in this case, this carbon in the ring structure or in the cyclic structure. Okay, these are the ring compounds. You may also arrange these structures like this. This is straight chain. This is branch chain. This branching is not at the terminal carbon atom. Branching is at the middle carbon atom. This is the closed chain or ring structure. Okay, now you can say this is a single bond between carbon-carbon, this is a double bond between carbon-carbon, and this is a triple bond between carbon-carbon. Organic compounds. What are organic compounds? Compounds of carbon were initially extracted from natural substances, that is living organisms, and it was thought that these carbon compounds could only be formed within living organisms. Okay, that's why these compounds were named as organic compounds from organism. In 1815, Berzelius, a Swedish chemist, suggested a theory which is known as the vital force theory. According to this theory, organic compounds are produced only under the influence of some mysterious force existing in the living organism. Okay, and it was assumed that that force cannot be created in the laboratory. That's why organic compounds was not synthesized in the laboratory. But in 1828, Friedrich Wöhler, a German chemist, rejected the vital force theory by preparing urea from ammonium cyanide. You can say this urea was the first organic compound synthesized in the laboratory. class of chemical compounds in which one or more atoms of carbon are covalently linked to atoms of other elements, most commonly hydrogen, oxygen or nitrogen, are known as organic compounds. This is the definition of organic compound, that is compounds of carbon. But there are some compounds of carbon which are not showing the properties of organic compounds, like that's why we can say except carbides, oxides of carbon, carbonate, hydrogen carbonate and cyanides. Okay, but presently what are organic compounds? We can say hydrocarbons and their derivatives are known as organic compounds. Okay, student. Now in detail we will discuss what are hydrocarbons, what are the different type of hydrocarbons in the next video. Thank you.